Okay, so here we are, we're back with the Proficiency series of vocabulary, and we're part 2 of In the Courtroom, and there's some wonderful words here. Anyone who watches all these series such as Law and Order or CSI and any kind of TV drama that revolves around the courtroom will hear these words a lot. And of course, if you're doing a proficiency English exam. Let's have a little look to practice law. Now, because of the word practice, a lot of people think that you are training or you're studying because you're practicing law, but that's not actually what this means. To practice law is kind of like an expression or a collocation, if you will. They go together, which means that you are a lawyer. You actually, practice law one way or another. Maybe you're a barrister, you work in court, you write up contracts, something like that. You practice law. You are a trained, qualified lawyer already. The other way you'll hear this used is to practice medicine. And that doesn't mean you're studying medicine, it means you've already finished. You are a doctor or a surgeon or something like this. And you may hear lawyers and doctors actually say, I want to start my own practice. If you hear them say this, it means they want to set up their own office or company, if you will. So, to practice law, you are a lawyer. Alright? I've been practicing law for over 10 years now. To receive compensation. Or damages, as you will hear a lot of the time in court. So, a lot of the time, this is why people go to court, because they can't reach an agreement, and one of them, usually the plaintiff, and we'll get to that I think in the next video, will want compensation. In other words, they want, oh yes, money, 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 money. That's what they're after. And obviously, some people don't want to part with their money, and that's why they end up in court. To get money, he was awarded $2,000 in compensation. Peanuts, really? To be sentenced to life. Well, that's not a good thing. If you're sentenced to life, it means that you have been a very, very naughty boy or girl, and you are going to prison for a long, long time. For life. And it can, I think there's two types. There's life, and if it's like this, you have chance of parole, which means they maybe will let you out, but you can also be sentenced to life without parole. In other words, you've done something absolutely awful, and they're saying, doesn't matter how good you are in prison, you are never ever getting out. Alright, so the judge sentences you to life, or life imprisonment. Yep. The jury found him guilty, and the judge sentenced him to 20 years imprisonment. Okay, so here I've said 20 years, so they will specify the time limit, but life literally means forever. The not guilty plea. Now, usually in the way in court proceedings, it'll start off by the judge saying, how does the defendant, the person who is defending himself, again we'll get to that in the next video, entering a plea. And this decides basically how things go. So the defendant can stand up and say, I'm not guilty, Your Honor. In other words, he denies the charges that have been brought against him. Or he can say, I'm guilty, Your Honor. In other words, he's accepting responsibility and saying all the accusations are actually founded and true. So, and that's what the plea is. So basically you are saying whether you are guilty or innocent at the very start, obviously. And usually your lawyer will have told you what to say. So if there's no chance of you winning, he'll say, yeah, you got to say you're guilty. Otherwise, you're gonna just be sent to jail for longer. So you'll receive legal advice telling you what you can get away with. To say that you are innocent of the charges, or well, here, yeah, not guilty plea, you're not saying that you're innocent of them. If you enter the guilty plea, it's the opposite. You're saying, yeah, I did it. The defendant has pleaded not guilty. To have tangible proof. Now, tangible proof here literally means they have your fingerprints, they have the murder weapon, they have a strand of hair, they have your DNA, blood, or something. They literally have tangible proof. Tangible means you can kind of touch it, feel it. Yeah. You'll also hear this used, tangible benefits, like extra money. Yeah. So tangible proof, I would say, is hard physical evidence that they can use against you in a court of law. They have tangible proof that he committed the murder. In other words, this is where your lawyer, if he knows this, might say, they have, the murder weapon. You've got to enter a plea of guilty. In other words, you can't say, no, it's not my gun. Well, why are your fingerprints all over it then? Duh. To be held accountable or liable for. Now, again, this is what a courtroom is all about. Finding out who is accountable for something or who is liable for it. So, you could say here, it wasn't my fault. I didn't mean to park the car in the garage upstairs. Yes. If you were driving, you are definitely liable for this accident. And that's just bad news. Number one, well, let's hope it's your house. Well, maybe not. Yeah, in fact, it's probably worse if it's your house. Or is it? Because then you're going to get sued for compensation as well as, fixing the house and fixing your car. Nightmare. So, to be accountable or liable is responsible for something. Parents are held accountable for the actions of their children. Ain't that the truth? So I hope this has been useful. I'll leave you with a little snippet of the kind of things that we post on our Facebook page. See if you can find the answers. If you like this kind of thing, come join our community. Thanks for watching. Bye.